Hello and welcome along and welcome back to No Man's Land. Today we've got some mulching to do and we need to start getting our fields ploughed as well. So it's going to be a fairly busy day here on the farm. I'm picking up the mower first because I need to move it out of the way in order to get the mulcher out. So we'll find some space over here to put this, I think. And then... Actually, no, there isn't going to work. Oh, I know where we'll go. We'll go over here. And then we are, going to have to get the plough out and start ploughing our fields ready for planting some canola in the near future. We've only got sort of August, September to plant the canola in our two barley fields. So quick turnaround on those is going to be essential. But we also need to get the two soybean fields mulched, ready for the next year crop to go in that as well. Hopefully by the end of October, we should have all of our fields ploughed, mulched, and replanted, ready to get them rolled as we go into the winter. And then we're going to start skipping a few days again. We do have a negative 1,446 at the moment, and yes, that is because we repaired this tractor last time. Somebody put it as an interest-free loan, but it's really not. It's going to be a little bit of a millstone round our necks for a couple of days until those until our bales have fermented. So we've got to get that sorted first, really. But until those are done, we might as well get our fields ready. Thankfully, we don't have anything to purchase in the meantime, so we should be good. Let's bring this onto the field. Yeah, this mulcher does actually work, thankfully. Somebody did suggest that I buy the John Deere mower, a batwing mower, and use that to do this mulching. I would love to. It's £15,000. It is out of our price range completely. So yeah, not going to be able to buy that anytime soon. This though does work really, really well. Allows us to get everything done pretty quickly, to be honest. And I think we're going to end up with all of our fields prepared by the end of today. And yeah, as I said, hopefully we're going to get some started with the with actually getting them ploughed as well, which would be absolutely perfect. Now, something people did point out after the last video, which I didn't realise until after I'd recorded it, was there was a reason we needed to keep the windrower that we had before. And that was because when we do hay bales, if we choose to do hay bales, we are going to need something to row up the tethered hay or the tethered grass with. So yeah, that would be a reason to have kept that. I have done some thinking afterwards though, and I'm not sure we need to. The better way to go might be just to create more silage bales, and then to use the money from the silage bales to buy hay bales. Silage bales worth much more money than hay is. We have all the equipment to do silage bales as opposed to hay bales. What do you guys think, though? Do you think that that is a valid way to go? Should we just keep making silage bales, make our money from that for our sheep, and then, yeah, just buy hay bales in based off of selling the silage bales and making a little bit more money off that? I think that might be a better way to go. It kind of makes a little bit more sense to me to do it that way, especially as we have all the equipment now to do the silage bale setup that way. Whereas doing the hay bales is A, going to make us, well, it's going to make us less money overall, and B, means that we're going to have to spend money to do it as well. Okay, first field is just about done. What we need to do now is, well, I'm going to have to come back and do this bottom corner because we're not quite wide enough to get that, but we'll get everything around the edge here. And then we'll go up and we'll go round and do the headlands because I have definitely missed bits in the headlands. We're also mulching a little bit the grass at the edge, but that's okay. And then we should be able to pull this straight across the roadway and go and do the second one. I do like the efficiency of this mulcher. It's really quite good. Nice and wide, not too expensive, and works well. Fantastic piece of kit. Right, and let's get this over the other side and get this done as well. And yeah, mulching in the sorghum stalks here. Don't think it adds any fertilizer. I think it just mulches in as everything else does. Be nice if it did, because you know you've got a fair amount of stalk going in here, as opposed to our other grain crops and things. It's quite a large amount here. There we go. Look at that. Worked absolutely perfectly to get this field done, as we know it would, because we've used this mulcher on our other fields before. The other thing we need to do actually today, before we start ploughing anything, we're going to have to get the roller out and roll the concrete roller out and roll the grass field. I don't think we've done that yet. Let's just check this. I think our grass field needs rolling. Let's turn grass on. Yeah, that's not mulched. It's got a single layer of fertilizer on it, as you do get with grass. But yeah, that grass field needs rolling, so we need to get that done before we continue today. So yeah, lots of stuff with the roller today, I think. I'm actually going to try this field a little bit differently and go round and do the headland first. That might make the whole thing a little bit easier. This really is making short work of these stalks and bringing them in. It is not, though, giving any fertilizing to our field. It's just mulching it. If we take the mulching off, even with the extra stalks, it doesn't fertilize it, which is fine. I didn't expect it to be honest. I thought that was probably going to be one of those things that the mulching of sorghum didn't do, and not for it to be any different to the other crops that we've mulched in the past. But yeah, it would be nice. We are gonna have this finished though momentarily, and then we'll just take this back to the yard and we'll hook up to our concrete roller and get that going on the grass. So the way we're planning this is actually I should get everything planted and all of our fields turned around before the end of the year. If we can do that, we're going to end up skipping ahead a lot next year, doing a fair bit of grass work as each season goes through and looking over the animals. We should be in a position though where all of our sales this year goes straight into improving the farm. Yes, we do have a loan that we need to finish off and get paid, but in general, I think most of what we have this year is going to be put towards that. I have a feeling. What do we? Yeah, I knew I had a feeling. 18,000. 398 Massey. We could really do with that, but we don't have the cash. I really, really wish. Even if I could sell if I can sell those silage bales at the end of today. I don't know how much we'll get for silage at the moment. There's 3,500 per bale, but they are nowhere near fermented. The chance of that tractor might still be there at the end of the next going into the next game day when we're looking to sell those silage bales is just so slim as to be non-existent, I think. Right, what we want to do now though is we have a roller sitting here ready for us, so we're going to unhook this. We'll take this back to the yard later. And then we can spin this around. Yeah, we could really do with the second tractor on this farm, and that classic Massey, that 398, that would be perfect. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to do it. Right, so, yeah, and you can see, there goes the fertilizing. So that will do this field really well. I get it turned around before it starts growing, which is vitally important with this. Just need to back it up to this corner to get us properly rollering it. A little bit of careful maneuvering. There we go. And then away we go. And get this field rollered, ready for its next harvest of grass. So yeah, really just a case of getting everything ready. This concrete roller is a lot less wide and operates at a lot slower speed than the mulcher does. So it's taking us a little bit while longer to actually get the field done. However, it does do the job really well, and we are getting a nice coverage of fertilization from it. And having now done our first full cut on this field, after integrating the other bits in earlier, this should mean the entire field now gets a full fertilization going into its next cut. So we're going to get our first full cut off this at the end, well, sometime in November, I would guess. This will give us a full cut on here. So we're looking fairly pretty for our grass area setup as well, which makes me very, very happy. The grass the other side of the road here, which would be another small field area, we are going to be using that, I think, to put the animals on. It's kind of where I want the animals to go, but I need to sort of work that out in my own head. Otherwise, yeah, this whole thing is working well. We can see the bits we didn't cut this time. The feedback, actually, when I asked during the cutting last time, should I ride on the field for the first headland? Very much a resounding yes. The grass isn't affected so much by driving on it to do that first headland cut. So, yeah, I think we'll probably do that in future. Make sure that we get everything that we're targeting in the cut. But in general, it just seems to have worked pretty well. Very much like that new mower we've got. It's gonna save us a lot. And as I was saying before, I think the way to go, but I do want your feedback on this, will be to just continue to do silage bales. And then to use the money from the silage bales to buy hay bales. If we have a look, the price of a hay bale, a round hay bale, is 980. We will make more than that per silage bale, I'm pretty sure. If we go and have a look in here and have a look at our pricing, silage bales. There we go. Silage is 281 per 1,000 litres. So that's nearly 300 per 1,000 litres. What's that going to top out at, actually? 343 that will top out at, with 270 below. I do like this. So in January, it'll actually be fairly high. We're looking at probably about... Where are we now? We're August here. So, yeah, we're looking at about a 300 average for silage bales. So, 369, about about 1,050 on average for a silage bale. So, we'll make more money off them than we'd spend in buying a hay bale, and we won't have to buy extra equipment. That, to me, just all seems very useful and makes sense. But, yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. Maybe if we can pick up some cheap equipment, it might be worth changing our minds on that at 980 a bale, but we'll see how we go. We missed a bit. Working it out, our silage bales at 280, I think, are worth about 980 per bale for 3,500 litres, which is identical to how much it costs to buy a hay bale right now. So yeah, it makes sense to me a lot to do it that way. I mean, we can't sell them at the moment, and the price is likely to go up before we do. So that is going to be good. And when we're doing the next cut and looking at doing the next sale, we are looking at being in a position where they're worth more than a hay bale per bale. It's making a lot of sense to me to just continue to do silage. And then when we have a good price for silage bales, we can sell them to buy hay bales. Because otherwise, yeah, we're just going to spend extra cost to do that. And even when we look at it that way, we're never going to end up making more money if we do hay bales than we do from making and then selling silage bales. It's just, yeah. It's never going to be more profitable to do it the other way around. The turning circle on this is a lot smaller than on the mulcher as well. Going back to where we were earlier. It's not really a delicate or a tight-fitting working piece of equipment, this. I mean, we can reverse it up and things like that, but it gets a lot fiddlier that way. But that is this field rolled and done, which is great. A small patch there, and means that this is now fully fertilized, and we won't have to worry about our grass again until we're ready to cut it. Let's have a look. Yeah, fully fertilized field, absolutely fantastic. And yeah, that's not a big area, that really. But yeah, so that's the grass field ready for the next bit. We don't have to worry about that again until that is done. So we can take the mulcher back to the farm now. It is only 3:10. I think it might be worth getting the plough in the ground. Even if we don't finish that today, getting it started is going to make a difference to us being able to get out there and get the canola seeded before the end of September. Mulcher dropped off, plough on, and our first field going to be this one here. Let's turn the plough. Get the right way around. We've got a decent idea of where our headland should be. So I'm going to put the plough in just shy of it. And away we go. Into the field. And yeah, time to start our second year's crops. Now, there's several good reasons for using a plough on here over using a cultivator or a subsoiler or a power harrow even. The first is that you need a plough on no man's land just to make fields. You can't really get anywhere on here without doing that. So yeah, you might as well embrace it. Have a plough and the ability to make fields. You're going to be using on a regular basis. The second is stones. With anything that you're pulling the ground up with, you are going to pull stones up. Now, you might pull small or medium stones up. I think with a cultivator, you pull small ones up. And with a subsoiler, you might pull medium ones up. Plows always bring the large ones up, bring the big stones up. So embrace that. Take full advantage of it and use a stone collector to collect up and sell stones, especially if you've got something like I have where you've got the lime production. And you can put them through that and earn some good money from selling off lime. I have updated the lime production, so it is the new version that's on the mod hub, which doesn't quite give as much as it gave to us before. But still, the amount of stones you can see that are coming off this field, it is going to be a decent amount of extra income for the farm. And sets the field to cultivated. And the third is weeds. With a plow, you get no weeds on your field. So, yeah, it's a bye-bye to all these bad boys in front of us. And, yeah, we have a weed-free field, so no need for a weeder or herbicide. We can just be weed-free and not have to have another piece of equipment on top. Going back to the cultivator, if you've got small stones to the cultivator, you can just roll those back in. But, yeah, medium stones cannot be rolled back into a field, so you'd still need a stone picker for that with another piece of machinery. So it just makes sense for me on here to do these fields with a plough. Yes, it takes a little bit longer, but overall, I think it ends up being worth it. I honestly didn't think we would get this field done today, but it's amazingly good, this little plough. It works faster than most ploughs I've used on Farm Sim. I don't know if it's just that these are smaller fields that we're working here on No Man's Land, but it seems to basically just chomp through them like nothing. It could be that it maybe works a little faster than some of the other ploughs, which would suggest the whole thing of not necessarily going for the widest plough, but going for one that works quickly. Because if it works quickly, it will cover more ground than maybe a 4-furrow would, going at a slightly lower speed. I mean, 8 miles an hour is a decent speed on this little tractor with this little plough. And of course, it costs less money as well to get this set up in the first place. Coming up to 5:30, and we have almost got this field done. I think it's going to be a little bit longer, and then we'll be able to properly get it all done. So, yeah, maybe another half hour in game, and we'll be able to clear this out and be in a really good position. We've got our other barley field still to plough. So we'll get that done probably next game day. And then on top of that, both these fields are going to need some serious stone picking. But that should be easy enough to do as well. And then, yeah, we're going to be in a really, really good place to get the canola seeded. And I think for the canola, what we're going to have to do, or what we probably should do, see if we can install a couple of beehives. The bees will do well from it, and so will the crop, and as a result, we'll make even more money. But that might have to wait until after we've sold the silage bales and got ourselves out of this slightly negative hole that we're currently in. Almost got the headland at the bottom end of the field now. Trying not to turn too much. Keep these lines nice and straight, and then we won't break our plough. He's very fiddly at the bottom of this field. It gets yeah, there's a lot of headland that's a little bit of a pain, but it is still doable and works. So an odd-shaped field is one of the things I like. You know, I wouldn't have gone with the odd-shaped field if I didn't want to do that. I could have just kept the original square. And yeah, I've talked about expanding out to the sides here a lot, and yeah, this field would get an even odder shape if we went out towards plot 25. As it is at the moment, we're right up against the edge of plot 26, and yeah, there's a little bit of an odd shape at the bottom end of the field, but the top end of the field, much better. We should have a much easier time of finishing this off up here. Oh, a little too far over. That is how close we are to the edge of this field. There we go. Right. Just the top end of the field to do now, and I need to do it the opposite way round to how I did the bottom. And also, see if I can get a good angle at which I can put in as few turns on this as possible. There we go, 7 in the evening. Better get the job done and stay out a little bit later. There we go. Perfect. So that's pretty cool. We've got the field ploughed. We've got our first barley field plough. We still have our second one to do. So we'll get that done next game day and then get both of them, the stones picked up on those. So yeah, we'll leave the plough on the back of the combine, the back of the tractor, sorry, for tonight. Why would you ever put a plough on the back of a combine? And yeah, that will be a good place for us to finish. Got a lot done today. I'm pleased with our progress. The farm is coming along very nicely. We will see where we get after here. For now, though, I'm going to leave this here. So all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel, ring that bell, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.